Hello everyone, myself BB Sangme. So today we are going to discuss the problem of uniform acceleration and retardation with a flat phase follower. So do subscribe for the latest updates of theory of machine lectures. So here we have the problem. A cam with a minimum radius of 50 mm rotating clockwise at a uniform speed is required to give an I phase follower to the motion. Motion is described below. First one is to move outwards to 40 mm. So this is the lift of follower during 100 degree of rotation of cam. So this is the outward stroke. To dwell for the next 80 degree, this is the dwell part. It is followed by the return stroke of a 90 degree. Okay, so to remaining part is to dwell for the rest period of 90 degree. So here we need to draw the profile of cam when the line of stroke is offset by 15 mm. So this is the case of offset follower. The displacement of the follower is to take place with uniform acceleration and uniform retardation. Okay, but here also we need to determine the maximum velocity and acceleration of the follower when the cam shaft rotates at 900 rpm. Also we need to draw the displacement, velocity and acceleration diagram for one complete rotation. So let us see what we have. We have the lift, we have the outstroke, return stroke, dwell part, and also we have the speed of the shaft. So let's take a scale. Here I have decided to go for the scale of 2 degrees to 1 mm to plot the displacement diagram. So here as per the scale, outstroke will be of length of 50 mm, dwell part middle one is the of magnitude of 40 mm, return stroke is of a magnitude of 90 degrees, so it will be of a length of 45 mm, and remaining dwell will be of a length of 45 mm. So here we need to draw a horizontal line of length equals to nearly 50 plus 45 plus 45, sorry 50 plus 45 plus 40. So it means that we need to draw a line more than a length of 135 mm. So let us draw a line from point 0 to O and 0, A and 0. So this is the horizontal line. It should have length more than 135 mm. Okay, you can go for the 145 or 150 mm length. Okay, next draw a line which is parallel to the first one at a distance of 40 mm, because the height or stroke of follower is 40 mm. So I have drawn the second line parallel to the first one. Let us complete the rectangle. Okay, next I am going to plot the outstroke at a distance of 50 mm. The outstroke will end. The point H will be at a distance of 50 mm. So this is the outstroke of magnitude 100 degree, and the distance between point A and H is 50 mm. Next is the dwell part. Second is the dwell part. Okay, it is of magnitude 40 mm. So from point H I will plot the point I at a distance of 40 mm. So this is the having magnitude of 80 degree, and remaining is the return stroke of magnitude of 90 degree and at a distance of 45 mm. So I dash is the distance of 45 mm. Okay, so finally we have drawn three rectangles. First one is the for the outstroke, middle one is for the dwell part, and the last one is for the return stroke. And after that, the return stroke, there is a dwell period of 90 degree. Okay, you need not to show because during this period and the follower will be at the rest position. So finally we have completed the rectangle. So let us let us complete the construction of a displacement diagram. Here we are dealing with the problem of uniform acceleration and retardation. So for the uniform acceleration and retardation, first I am going to draw a line. I am going to divide the height in 6 equal parts. So height is 40 mm. Again, it is quite difficult to divide the 40 mm distance in 6 equal parts, because one part will be equal to a length of 6.66 mm. So again, it is quite difficult to plot a point at a distance of 6.66 mm, because quite difficult to measure the distance of 6.66 mm. So for that purpose, I am going to draw an line with an angle near about 20 to 30 degree from point A. Okay, so on this line I am going to divide this line with 6 equal parts. I am going to take some distance near about 8 to 10 mm. You can go for any distance as per your convenience. So here I have decided to take a distance of 8 to 10 mm in compass. So let us take a distance of 8 mm in compass. Create first arc at here. Put the needle at here at point 0. Create first arc at here. So this is one. Don't change the distance. Keep the distance same for the every arc length. Put the needle at point 1. Create second arc. Put the needle at 2. Create third. So similarly, I have created 6. I have plotted 6 points at here. So next thing is I am going to join the last part. This is 6 line with the topmost corner, left topmost corner. Okay, so let us join. So next is I am going to draw the parallel lines from every point, from point 5 to the this is this line which is passing from 6.6. So to this line I am going to draw the next line which will pass from point 5. Similarly for point 4, 3, 2 and 1. So let us draw the parallel lines to the first line. So So here you can see that I have drawn the 5 parallel lines to the first one. So here you can see that I have divided the height in 6 equal parts. You can observe here. Okay, so next thing is again I need to divide the outstroke and return stroke in also 6 equal parts. Again, it is quite difficult to divide an angle of 100 degree with 6 equal parts. Okay, so you can use the same procedure here. What I have did here, you can do same things, same procedure here, but I have not shown. I am directly going to plot. Okay, so I have divided the horizontal line in 6 equal parts. Similarly for this also 90 degree. Actually the length is 45 mm. So for the length of 45 mm, again it is quite difficult to divide into 6 equal parts. You can use the same procedure here. You can draw inclined line. You can divide the same line and just follow the same procedure. So here I am going to divide the return stroke in 6 equal parts. Okay, so finally I have divided the return stroke. So next thing is I am going to draw the vertical lines from every point, from point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly for the return stroke. Okay, so next thing is just I am going to focus on the middle line, that is third line. On this line I am going to project these points. As I have divided the 0 line in 6 equal parts, similarly I am going to divide the third line in 6 equal parts. So what I am going to do here, I will just draw the horizontal lines and I will divide the vertical third line in 6 equal parts. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this one will be 6. So this, if you consider this as a 0, this will be first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay, so next thing is just I will join the lines. I'm going to join the first point with the left 0 corner, second point with this 0 line, third with this 0 line. Similarly, I'm going to for the remaining part, I'm going to join the third point with the upper topmost right corner of the outstroke rectangle, fourth point with the same corner, fifth point with the same corner. So let us join. So this is the I have joined the first point with the left corner, second point with the left corner with the 0 point, and third with the I have just joined the diagonal of the rectangle. Okay, so this is the right corner, topmost right corner of the outstroke. So I'm going to join the remaining points 4, 5, 6 with this corner. So let us join. So finally we have joined every point, and the bottom first, second, and third point I have joined. First and second point I have joined with the 0 line. Third point I have joined with the 0 and the topmost corner also, and fourth, fifth, sixth are joined with the right topmost corner of the outstroke. Okay, so next thing is I'm going to plot the points of the curve. So here the first line, this is the inclined first line, is intersecting with the vertical first line somewhere at here. So let us highlight this point. Okay, this is the B point. Next is the second line, inclined second line is intersecting with the vertical second line somewhere at here. So this is the point C. Similarly, we have already joined the third line, 0, 3 line is intersecting with the third line somewhere at here. So this is the point D. Similarly, fourth line, inclined fourth line is intersecting with the vertical fourth line somewhere at here. This is the point E. Similarly, inclined fifth line is intersecting the vertical fifth line somewhere at here. This is the point F, and this is the point G. So the same procedure I am going to apply for the return stroke. Okay, so let us divide the middle line in the 6 equal parts. You can just transfer these points, one point, just draw the projection lines and you will get the 6 equal parts at here. Or you can transfer by using the compass also. You can use the same, take a distance of 3 to 1, 1 to 2 and transfer on this vertical line, 3 dash line. Okay, so these points are, I have named these points with 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6 dash. This is because to bifurcate the return stroke. So next thing is I'm going to do the same thing, 0 to 1. Let us join 0 dash to 1 dash, 0 dash to 2 dash, 0 dash to directly diagonal, topmost corner with the 4 dash, with the 5 dash. Okay, similarly the first point will be, so this is the B dash point of first inclined line 1, 0 dash 1 dash with vertical 1 dash line, 0 dash 2 dash with vertical 2 dash line. Here there will be a C dash, there will be D dash at here. Okay, for the line, this line 4 dash line at the intersection with 4, this will be, this is E dash. For the inclined 5 dash line it is intersecting with the vertical phi at here. So this is f dash, and this finally this is g dash. So finally we have located out the points. Let us draw the curve which is joining, smooth curve. We need to draw a smooth curve which is joining to these points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and similarly G dash, F dash, E dash, D dash, C dash, B dash, and A dash. So let us join. So this is the curve for the outstroke. For the dwell period, the curve will be horizontal, and this is the curve for the return stroke. So this is the displacement diagram. Okay. So next is here we have to calculate the we have to draw the velocity and acceleration diagram also. So to calculate the velocity and acceleration diagram, first we need to calculate the velocity during outstroke, return stroke, velocity during acceleration during outstroke, and return stroke. So let us calculate. So we have the n. By using the n, we have calculated omega here. So I have the value of omega. I found the value of omega is 94.26 as per calculation. Let us calculate the velocity during outstroke. So by using the formula of 2 omega s divided by theta o, velocity during outstroke I have calculated, it is of magnitude 4.32 meter per second. Here we have the value of omega. S is in terms of meter, we need to consider, because here we are going to calculate the velocity in terms of meter. You can calculate in terms of mm per second also. Okay. Then in that case you have to take the S as it is. Okay. Next is the theta o. Theta o is the angle traced by the cam during outstroke. It is 100 degree, but we are not supposed to take it as it is. We need to convert this in terms of radian. So I have converted it. As per calculation, it is 1.745. So velocity is 4.32 meter per second. Let us calculate acceleration during outstroke. So this is the formula which is already I have mentioned in the first introductory part of cam follower chapter. Okay. So let us calculate AO. Okay, so here we have the value of omega s and theta o. Again we need to consider theta in terms of radian. So by calculation I found that acceleration during outstroke is 467 meter per second square. So similarly let's calculate velocity during return stroke VR. So by using the formula VR is equals to 2 omega s divided by, instead of theta o we need to consider theta r. Okay. So again I have calculated theta r. I have converted theta r in terms of radian, which is 1.571 radian. Okay. Let us calculate. So by calculation I found that velocity during return stroke is a little bit increased, 4.8 meter per second compared to the velocity during outstroke, because the angle traced by the cam during outstroke is 100 degree and angle traced by the cam during return stroke is 90 degree. So here the angle is reduced, but whatever the follower distance traveled during outstroke, the distance traveled by the follower is 40 mm, and it is same for the return stroke. So the here, because of the as the cam rotates at a constant speed, here the speed is constant, so the time required to trace the angle of 90 degree is less, so that is why the velocity is increased. So VR is greater than VO. Okay, so let us calculate acceleration during return stroke. So by using the same formula, 4 omega square s divided by theta o, instead of theta o I have considered theta r here. Okay, so by calculation I found that during return stroke acceleration is 576 meter per second square. It is again increased comparatively. Outstroke it was 467 for the outstroke, and return stroke it is 576. Okay, because as the velocity changes, acceleration rate of change of velocity means acceleration. Okay, so that is why the acceleration is more. Okay, so to draw the velocity and acceleration diagram, first of all I am going to draw the projection lines from point 0, 3, 6, 6 dash, 3 dash, and 0 dash. So I have drawn 6 projection lines. On this I have drawn a horizontal line which is going to represent the velocity, and second horizontal line, this is going to represent the acceleration. So already we have calculated the velocity during outstroke, which is 4.32 meter per second square. So this is the part of outstroke. So let us discuss here. Here you can see that the displacement is 0 at this point, and as the displacement goes on increasing, displacement follower goes on increasing, velocity is also going to increase. Similarly from this point, here you can see that A and G are the 2 points which are showing the follower is stationary. Okay, so from point A, as the cam rotates, the follower is going to move. So the follower comes from the state of rest to the state of motion. So at up to point 3, the follower will attain its maximum velocity. After that, the follower is going to again from the state of motion, it is going to the state of rest. So the velocity is going to decrease. Okay, so the velocity profile will be like a triangle. Okay, so let us draw a triangle. Here the velocity we have calculated 4.32 meter per second. So we need to take some scale, or here I have not took the scale, but during the exams you are supposed to take the scale. If you take a scale of 1:1, or if you take a scale of 1:2, this will be of something 8.64. So the velocity, height of velocity triangle. So you have to draw a triangle of, here I have to scale of 1:1. So the velocity triangle is of a magnitude of, here height of triangle is 4.32 mm. Actually you can take any scale. For this dwell period the velocity will be 0 because displacement of follower is 0. Similarly, for during the return stroke, here you can see that the follower at the point G dash is at rest, state of rest. So when the cam will start to rotate, so what will happen, the follower will move towards the downward side. Okay, so it is coming towards the downward side, so the velocity is going to increase up to point D. After that again it is going to the state of rest. So it will be a triangle below the velocity line of magnitude. Here we have calculated 4.8, so we need to take the height of angle is equals to 4.8 mm. So here is 4.8, so let us draw. So this is the velocity diagram during return stroke. Okay, here you can take any scale as per your convenience. Okay, next is acceleration during outstroke. Here you can see that the acceleration will be maximum at the start and at the end part. Okay, and it will be 0 somewhere at the point 3. Okay, so let us draw a triangle, a rectangle. The acceleration diagram will be a profile like a rectangle. So during outstroke acceleration we have calculated 467 meter per second square. So here again you need to take 1 meter per second square is equals to something mm you need to convert. So that will be the height of rectangle. Okay, so this is the acceleration during outstroke. So as we have seen that the acceleration is maximum, again it is reducing. So this is the acceleration of the remaining part. Similarly, during this period acceleration will be 0. And for the return stroke, acceleration will start from, it will move towards the downward side, again it will move towards the upward side of magnitude 576. Again you have to take scale, it will be more than this 466 and 467 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration during return stroke, and the profile will be like this. Here you can see, observe that the height of rectangle is more, height of rectangle of return stroke is more than height of rectangle of outstroke, because the acceleration during outstroke is less. Okay, so finally we have completed with the velocity and acceleration diagram. So let us draw the cam profile. So I have recreated same image at here. So first I am going to plot the center of the follower, center of the cam. So let us draw the base circle. Here the minimum radius of cam is 50 mm. So let us draw the base circle of radius 50 mm. So this is the base circle. Next, here we are dealing with the problem of offset follower. The follower is offset by 15 mm. So let us draw a circle from the same center of radius is equals to 15 mm. So this is the offset circle. Okay, this is the offset circle. So here the cam, actually they have mentioned in the problem, it is mentioned that the cam is rolling in clockwise direction. So when the cam rolls in clockwise direction, we are supposed to take the offset towards the right side, because offset is nothing but just we are going to draw a tangent line to the offset circle. So let us draw a tangent line at this point towards the upward side. Okay, so when the cam rotates in anti-clockwise direction, we should take the offset towards the right side. When the in a clockwise direction, when the cam rotates in anti-clockwise direction, we supposed to take the offset towards the left side. So here we are going to divide the angle in anti-clockwise direction because the cam is rotating in clockwise direction. So first of all I am going to locate the follower at here. So this is the follower, this is the point 0A where the rotation starts. Okay, so I am going to join the line with the O and A. Okay, so first is the outstroke of magnitude 100 degree. Again let us draw a line from you need to adjust the protractor, match the zero line of protractor with OA line, and you have to measure the angle in anti-clockwise direction of magnitude 100 degrees. So this is the outstroke angle. So this is the point H where the outstroke angle is ended. Next is, it is followed by the dwell part of magnitude 80 degrees. So let us draw a line, it will be somewhere at here. Let us measure angle of 80 degree from this line 0 to O to H in this anti-clockwise manner. It will be somewhere at here. This is the point I. Okay, so this is the point I. From this point, from O to I, I am going to measure an angle of 90 degree of return stroke. It will be end somewhere at here. It will end somewhere at here. So this is the angle of 90 degree, and this is the point 0 dash A dash where the return stroke is ended, and the remaining part is actually this dwell part. Okay, of magnitude 90 degree. Okay, so again it is the problem is how to divide the angle of 100 degree with 6 equal parts. So if you will divide it by 6, the angle will be 16.66 degree. Again, it is quite difficult to measure the angle of 16.66 degree. How to measure the angle of 16.66 degree? Now, it is quite easy to measure the angle of 16.5 degree. But if we will take a 16.5 degree angle, the last angle will be of it will not be equal to 16.66 degree. The last sector will be more than an angle of 16.66 degree. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to consider the radius. I'm going to plot the point O here. So the radius is something 50 mm. Next, I'm going to draw a line inclined at a 16.66 degree. Just it is for the representative diagram. Here the angle is not exactly 16.60 degree. Let us join this by a curve. So this is the arc 0 to 1. So we need to measure the distance between 0 to 1, so that directly we can put the distance, take the distance in the compass. We can put the needle at here and we can transfer the angle at here. Okay, so let us transfer. So here we need to measure the arc length. So to measure the arc length, I am going to use the formula arc length is equals to r into theta. R means the radius, which is 50 mm. Theta is sector angle, so which is in 16.66 degree. We need to convert it into radian. Let us convert. So by conversion, I multiplied by pi by 180. So I found that it is 0.29. So let us calculate the arc length. So arc length is 14.5. So we need to take a distance of 14.5 mm in compass. Put the needle at point 0. Transfer a distance. Plot the first point at a distance of 14 points. So this distance is 14.5 mm. Similarly, second will be at the same distance, third will be at the same distance. So finally you will get nearly approximately equal parts. Okay, so I have divided the outstroke in 6 equal parts here. Okay, so similarly I am going to divide the return stroke. So again, to divide the return stroke, it is quite easy to divide the return stroke in 6 equal parts at here. Okay, so because angle is 90 degree and the outstroke one angle will be of a magnitude of 15 degree. Okay, so let us plot the first point at an angle of 15 degree. Similarly, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this is the sixth. So next thing is I'm going to draw the stroke line. So this is the first stroke line, this is the black color first stroke line, which is tangent to the circle and passing from the center of the follower. Okay, so similarly I'm going to draw the second stroke line from point 1, similarly from 2, similarly 3. So make sure that the stroke line should be tangent to the offset circle. Okay, similarly 5. Okay, so similarly from point 6 dash, 5 dash, 4 dash, 3 dash, 2 dash, 1 dash, and 0 dash. So finally I have drawn the stroke lines from every point. So next is I am going to just pick the point B, 1 to B distance. I am going to transfer on 1 to B, 2 to C, 2 to C. So let us transfer. Take a distance of 1 to B in compass. Transfer at here. This is the point B. Take a distance of 2 to C in compass. Put the needle at base circle. Transfer point C. Take a distance of 3 to D. So similarly, I have transported up to point G. So similarly, next G dash, F dash, E dash, D dash, C dash, and B dash. So finally, we have transferred all the points on the displacement diagram to draw the profile of the cam. So this is the cam profile. So let us join these points by means of a smooth curve. So this is the profile of the cam for the uniform acceleration of retardation. Okay, that's it.